Hello everyone. I'm sharing a story of Ramayan in the Kamishibai style of storytelling. This is a story of a great king, Ram, and his adorable wife, Sita, who was abducted by the 10-headed demon, Ravan. Ravan abducted Sita and took her to the faraway land of Lanka. Ram, with the help of the monkey god, defeated Ravan and got his beloved wife back. Well, this is a beautiful story. This is a story of Ramayan, but my story is about the person who wrote the Ramayan. हम कथा सुनाए राम लखन सकदाम की हम कथा सुनाए राम सकल गुण दाम की. Once upon a time, a great sage called Valmiki lived in a beautiful hermitage outskirts of the village. Valmiki lived there. He sat down and envisioned the entire Ramayan, and he wrote Ramayan on leaves of he wrote Ramayan on the leaves. He reread the Ramayan that he had written, and he was mighty pleased with himself. Valmiki decided to show his work, show off a little bit. He showed his work to the sun god, to the moon, and everybody praised Valmiki. He showed his work to the water, the wind, and all the gods, and everybody had only one word to say. What prose, what excellent poetry, what great meter. He even showed his work to the goddesses, and all of them only praised his work. Well, passing there was Narad. Narad is another great sage, somebody who can be there in three worlds, up in the heaven, in the earth. He can be on the earth, and he can even reach the nethers. Narad saw the work. Narad saw the Ramayan. He read and he said, this is good. But, however, Valmiki was like, what? What do you mean, however? Well, Narad told Valmiki, this work is good, however, I have read better. What? What do you mean better? How can somebody have written anything better than what I have here? Said Valmiki. To that Narad said, this story that I have read is written by Hanuman, the monkey god. Hanuman, that monkey who's good at flying over mountains, fighting with the enemy, and of course eating bananas. But that monkey can write a great poem like the Ramayan? Unbelievable. Where can I find the monkey? Said Valmiki. Well, you can go and read it yourself, said Narad. He said, you have to go to the Himalayas. You have to go to the north, to the Himalayas, and in between two great mountains, in between two cold mountains, you will find a valley, a warm valley with banana orchard, and that's where you will find Hanuman. Well, Valmiki couldn't stay in his ashram for a minute. He set out. He through the meandering paths. He walked for day, he walked for night, and he asked for directions from the birds, from the animals as he walked. Valmiki reached a beautiful banana orchard. As he sat there, tired by his trip, he looked around, he looked everywhere, and suddenly, on top of the leaves, there was something written. Valmiki took a closer look to read what was scribbled on these leaves. As he took a closer look, tears rolled down his eyes. Tears rolled down his eyes. Valmiki started crying. All the birds and animals who saw him cry were surprised. Valmiki was so sad that this Ramayan was so well written, was so beautiful that nobody will ever read his Ramayan. Just then a very kind hands lay on Valmiki's shoulder. It was none other than the great Hanuman. It was none other than Hanuman, the monkey. Well, looking at Valmiki cry, Hanuman asked him what was the reason for his misery. And when he stated, Hanuman simply plucked the leaves and made a huge ball out of these leaves, and without any hesitation put that entire ball inside his mouth and went crunch, crunch, crunch. What have you done? What have you done? Stop this. You have destroyed your Ramayan forever, said Valmiki. To that Hanuman said, you have written your Ramayan so that the world can read about it, so that the world can remember you. My Ramayan was for my Ram, for my devotion and love for Ram that is inside me. Since that day, Ramayan is told and retold in many, several different versions. Puppet stories, they're different and they're all told as Valmiki's Ramayan. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful rendering of Hanuman's Ramayan. My story is inspired from this book, Hanuman's Ramayan, retold by Devdutt Pattnaik, pictures by Nancy Raj, and published by Tulika books.